It's coming up on 8:28. You're listening to Good Morning Scotland. In Scotland, like elsewhere in Europe, the school year is coming to a close, and a big topic on teachers' and pupils' minds these past few months has been the advent of AI and its impact on teaching and learning. Schools and education boards are grappling with ways to address the new technologies, but there are also many questions for higher education. The France-based journalist Jamie Smith-Maillet attended a congress of language teachers focused on AI in the town of Colmar near Strasbourg. He started by asking students about their use of the tools.
Yeah, I use it most of the time for make a correction.
It's great tools, but you need to use it correctly.
I use most of the time ChatGPT, and when it was launched, I was in high school, so I discovered it myself.
And Noah, do you think it's the future?
Oh yes.
Like counterparts abroad, the French higher education system has been shaken up by the latest advances in generative AI. Elsewhere, the French Ministry for Education reported an increase in cheating for school leavers, with smartphones counting for half of all recorded instances of exam fraud. In Colmar, university teachers were gathering for the annual Congress of Appliute. Marie-Agnès Travaux, a Spanish teacher for applied purposes, is the president of Appliute, and she told me why the annual conference mattered.
The purpose of the association is to defend and promote the teaching of languages across IUTs. I think the value of the conference was that it helped to dispel some of the fears around AI. I realized that, in the end, it's not exactly an enemy. It can actually be another tool we can use in our classrooms, and it can be an added asset to our teaching.
David, a university teacher, expressed his mixed feelings about the AI evolution during a workshop.
What I'm seeing more and more today is that it's a risk for the learner and not for the teacher. Because if you put yourself in a student's shoes, if there's a desire to save time, not to do the work yourself, and to continue doing this year after year, there's simply no learning.
On the cobbled streets of Colmar in Alsace, we're just not far from Strasbourg here, and we could say that the region is quite used to a mix of language learning. The European Parliament in Strasbourg itself, the area close to the German border where both Alsatian, the local language, and German are mastered. But there is a sense coming out of the conference that language teaching will be changed with artificial intelligence for the better or for the worse. And there's a feeling of concern, of feeling overwhelmed, and feeling excited about the opportunities that this will bring in both language teaching, but also teaching across the board.
Higher education cannot be disconnected from society.
Samuel Nowakovsky, a lecturer in digital humanities at the Université de Lorraine, spoke at a roundtable at the conference. He told me how new tools brought opportunities and challenges to HE.
Compared to 5 years ago, what we are experiencing now was found only in science fiction books. Today, it's our reality. These tools, by the power they unleash, force us to question things in a cross-disciplinary way, especially ethical questions. What do we do with them? What limits do we set? How can each person, at their own level, make this a cross-disciplinary teaching tool? A computer scientist won't look at it the same way as an economist or a philosopher or someone in communication studies, etc.
During the workshops, many language teachers expressed concern about the shift from automatic translation software to generative AI. But for Yannick Jéchou, a lecturer in teaching methods for French as a foreign language, instructors still had a prominent role to play.
There are often concerns, and it's crazy because every time there's some kind of revolution, it's the same question. There's more worry than enthusiasm rate. Always this fear of being replaced. Teachers are afraid they won't have a role anymore. But actually, I feel like despite this fear, AI is showing us just how important teachers are going to be. And the fear that emerged, paradoxically, I think it actually shows just how useful teachers teachers are, because they are supposed to foster reflection.
French universities will adopt their own charters independently, but national guidelines offer oversight on practices and ethics. Stéphane Canu is a university lecturer in machine learning in Normandy and also sits as an advisor on the French Ministry for HE and Research. He told me that AI was a game changer.
I give you the example, they can read your emails and discuss with your email, so they can act on your own computer, so you have to control them. You have to put the LLM on the leash, really, to know what they are doing. I think there is 2 points with the education. First of all, maybe not with university, but for younger or kids. So it's very important because of their development that they will not use screen before, let's say, 13 or 15. But afterwards, at the university, of course, they will use these tools as a professional. So the question is how to control them and to use them properly.
But in the meantime, for the teachers at the conference, as they let their hair down at the closing gala, they pondered new tools, changing roles, and what the future had in store. Cyril and Deborah.
I was concerned. I can't even say whether I'm more concerned now that I know more about it or less, but actually I'm more interested in it than I was before, which is already something.
We didn't get answers to all our questions, but thinking collectively probably helps. Preparing lesson plans, it's very helpful. It's also very helpful for students, but it raises a number of questions in terms of learning skills.
Jamie Smith-Maillet reporting there. It's